And welcome as we're live. Some people may not see this live, but as we're live on Saturday morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, bright and early because you wanted it. Because now that the radio station I work for is dark at 8 o'clock in the morning, basically with what they have on. You could turn off the switch and still have the same amount of people. But anyway, you wanted to talk to me on Saturday morning, and now you have it because that's what I've dedicated Saturday mornings to is to talk to you. And Saturday mornings starting next week, we'll have Mark Lawrence on to take a look at the weekend football. So we'll do that every Saturday during the football season. But this show, an important part of this show is the presenter of this show, and that would be Stillwell Financial Advisors. Never want to forget Jeff Stillwell, and you shouldn't either, because he can help you with your future, especially with the way things are in the country nowadays, financially, and uh, jobs down and uh, jobs are down, inflation is up. It's just so you need somebody to set you up for your future. And Jeff Stillwell can do that. 732-343-0813. 732. He knows his stuff. 732-343-0813. By the way, he's also a great guy. All right. What we're going to talk about this morning, and uh, obviously I invite your participation, and the link is up there somewhere on the social media platforms. And I see uh, uh, there's people already joining in, and we got Chris, JC, Ken, Jeffrey, and Mark. Good morning to all of you people out there. But we want to start off with the Eagles. With on this Saturday, uh, the Eagles will be playing a preseason game. The NFL doesn't like to call them exhibitions. It's an exhibition of second and third and fourth string players. That's what it is. I would be shocked if the Eagles have any of the starters play. And it's it's too bad that the head coach doesn't just tell you that when he speaks during the week. He's muzzled by his PR department, by his PR person. He's muzzled. He's turned into a boring puppet. And Nick Sirianni is an excellent coach. I, a really good coach with a really good personality, and he's muzzled. It's like putting a muzzle on him because obviously he doesn't want to deal with the wrath of his PR person, which is a joke. Just tell people. Just tell people. Jalen Hurts got a lot of work. That's what he's going to say after the game. Got a lot of work during the week with the joint practices. The starters got a lot of work. So they didn't really need to play in the game. Okay, great. You still got to learn to tackle and not learn. They practice how to tackle with dummies, but they don't do it during practice. But whatever the case, you won't see the starters. But we can talk about what are you looking for? What are you looking for? By the way, I want to mention to you before we really get into talking about the other important people that support this program. Today, my giveaway, something different than the Chickies and Pete's gift certificate, the Oakley sunglasses, an autographed baseball by the best third baseman to ever play the game. Ever play the game. And that would be Mike Schmidt. With a baseball you can't get anymore. It's a National League baseball. Now it's just a Major League Baseball. And I'll have a question at the end of the show. And if you answer the question correctly, and there'll be many people that I'm sure do, if you answer the question correctly by midnight on Tuesday, August 19th, you will win. And the winners will be selected at random from the correct entries. Watch the show on Wednesday, August 20th at 7:30 to see if you've won live on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube. And I suggest that to people because with YouTube, you always get notified when I go on live. And it's easy to find on all the social media platforms, but it's easy to find on YouTube. And the winner will be randomly chosen from all correct entries. All right, let's deal with what we got with. Let's start with the Eagles, and we'll get to the Phillies. Boy, they hit the living daylights out of the ball in the game against Washington on Friday night. They got all of 6 hits. Man, they're crushing it. They are crushing it. Their lineup is not good enough. So I'll get into that. I'll get into that again. I mean, it's. I don't like their lineup. They depend on home runs. 6 hits. The 3 previous games they scored 3 runs, 0, 1, and 2. And one of the runs was a mercy home run by Bryce Harper when the Phillies were down 6-0 in the 9th inning. Oh man, he hits a home run. The pitcher probably shouldn't even be in the major leagues, the guy that was pitching, because it's 6-0. You're not going to bring a pitcher in. And I got something to say about Rob Thompson with Friday night's game. But first, let's deal with the Eagles. What are you looking for? What are you looking for out of this preseason game? Really, what are you looking for? You're not going to see the starters. What are you looking for? Second pregame of the season, you usually get some of the starters. I would be shocked if you get any of the starters. Shocked. Flat out shocked. All right, let me tell you about the other people, the other important people, and they've become friends of mine that support this program, and that would be Audi Westchester. You can lease a new 2025 Audi Q6. Hey, this won't go on. These prices are not going to last long. I'm telling you right now. These are really good prices, really good deals. 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron for $499 a month. A sale on another one of the electric vehicles, the Audi Q4 e-tron, $399 a month. Now, you'll need $5,295 down on the Q6, $4,156 down on the Q4 plus taxes and registration fees. Stop by Audi Westchester. You'll have fun. Usually I pop in there on Saturday. I'll probably pop in there briefly this morning before the Eagles game. And you can get more details. Check out their all-new facility and look at all the vehicles there, all of them. 1421 Wilmington Pike. Special offer will not last long, and there's a tax credit on electric cars, which also will not last long. A new 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron, $499 a month, or an Audi Q4 e-tron for $399 a month. Check them out, AudiWestchester.com. All right. Also want to tell you about Piazza Property Pros. You want your property to look nice. I mean, who doesn't? You want your property to look nice. It's just it's good to have Audi, and it's good to have Piazza Property Pros. 25 years of experience. They can build you an in-ground pool. And if you've been thinking about it and you procrastinate, don't procrastinate any longer. At least if you'll be ready for a little bit towards the end of the summer, but certainly for next year, you'll have a full season. They don't subcontract, which is a good thing. It's a great thing, actually. Turn your vision into a reality. Terrific workers, great people. And that's not the only thing they do. Excavation, hardscaping, fencing, landscaping, pool maintenance. If you already have a pool, you can trust Piazza Property Pros. And I guarantee you can trust them to deliver exceptional results on time within your budget. Call 610-566-2608 for a free consultation. That's 610-566-2608. Check them out on the internet, piazzaoutdoor.com. All right, the Eagles. What the hell are you looking for? What are you looking for? We know, I see some of the comments here. The Eagles, does anybody like the Eagles game today? I wouldn't lay the points, 4.5 points. I know they're at home. I see somebody said something about Duran being in the game. I'm going to get to that. Trust me, I'm going to get to that. Uh, this is who the Phillies are. The people are already talking about the Phillies. They they had success in the playoffs. Well, yeah, but they didn't win anything in the playoffs. Unless you win the World Series, you didn't win anything. Uh, uh, it's just I just don't like their lineup. But anyway, let's start with the Eagles. Really, what are you looking for? I mean, what can you tell with the backups? I already knew that Tanner McKee was a good backup quarterback. I think someday he might be a starter. He just doesn't have the athletic skills. Although I will say this, I think he does a better job at reading progressions than Jalen Hurts. He's more accurate. He's probably got a stronger arm than Jalen Hurts, but the Eagles use so much of the other things that Jalen Hurts does. Jalen Hurts obviously um, should and is the starting quarterback. So we can talk about that. You got the link to join in if you want to link. I see your comments, but you can join the program. And if you don't want to use the camera, you don't want to be on camera, you can just talk to me with the audio. One of the other things we're going to talk about today, uh, the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber. I don't think the Phillies are going to be able to sign Kyle Schwarber. It's just because they have too many players with big contracts. Trey Turner was a mistake. As it turns out, the last 6 years of Harper, I don't think are going to look pretty. I don't think he should hit number 3. I think he should hit number 5. Do you believe that Kyle Schwarber has a higher batting average? And I know baseball people don't worry about that anymore. Do you know Kyle Schwarber has a higher batting average than Bryce Harper? That's mind-boggling. He's going to have more home runs than Bryce Harper. He's got 43 home runs. He probably got a good shot to get to 50. Nowadays, 50 home runs in Major League Baseball is not a big deal. Smaller parks, more lively baseballs, harder bats. It's a game built to hit home, and the Phillies are built to hit home runs unless you get or until you get to the playoffs. And when you get to the playoffs, the pitching is better, so you're not going to hit as many home runs. I hate to break the news. I hate to break the news to people. They're just not going to hit as many home runs. So, and what teams are better than the Phillies? There's another team that's kind of snuck up there. And I think they may be better than the Phillies. We already know that Milwaukee is better than the Phillies. I think people would agree with that. And if you don't, you're delusional. You're delusional. If you don't agree with that, you're delusional, because Milwaukee is a better team, clearly a better team than the Phillies. But the other team that could be better, I don't know if the Dodgers are better. The Dodgers beat San Diego last night, but I think San Diego is a better team than the Phillies too. I think San Diego uh, uh, better than the Phillies. Kyle Banda, I'm going to address his comment here. Mr. Eskin, you can call me Howard. Why are you such a Bryce Harper hater? Donovan McNabb, it's Donovan, never won anything here, and you praise him. No, he didn't win. He had his faults, but he's still the best quarterback in Eagles history, because they just don't have a lot of great quarterbacks. And he had the numbers. He didn't win a Super Bowl, and that's a problem. Bryce Harper hasn't won a World Series. Bryce Harper has only knocked in over 100 runs once with the Phillies. This is his 7th year, and he's not going to have 100 RBIs this year. He's an RBI guy, right? And in his career, he's only had knocked in over 100 runs twice. Bryce Harper was excellent, terrific player. But Kyle Banta, do you still think he's a great player? I don't think he's a Hall of Famer as we look at him right now. 2 MVPs. MVP is subjective because it's voted by the writers. No World Series. Only 100 RBIs once with the Phillies, only twice in his career. He won't have 400 home runs by the end of next season, and that's not a number to get into the Hall of Fame anymore, because 400 is really not that big a deal. I'm not a hater. I'm just giving you some reality. I mean, I've always gotten along with Bryce Harper, but do you want me to be honest? Or you want me to lie like everybody does on the radio? You want me to just bullshit you like everybody does on the radio? Oh, he's great. Oh, he's great. Oh, he's great. No, he's not. Not anymore. He was. Not anymore. I'm not a hater. I'm a realist. And if you don't like it, then too bad. Uh, uh, and there's probably that a person, Kyle, probably thinks that the Phillies are better than Milwaukee. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break. All right. We have somebody that wants to talk to me. Oh, and I'm going to get into the Sixers too. The disgrace. I mean, does anybody give a damn about the Sixers anymore? Uh, 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 and I see Ted says your number 3 hitter less than 100 RBIs is a problem. Number 3 hitter is supposed to be a home run hitter and an RBI guy. Bryce Harper is not a home run hitter this year, and he's not an RBI guy. RG Harper definitely has some work to do to make it to the Hall of Fame. Yes, he does. Well, if Rollins is in, shouldn't Harper be in? That's Brian. I don't know that Rollins is not going to get in, and I think he should get in before Chase Utley. I think he's a better player than Chase Utley. But all right, let's. Is that Cowboy Dope? It's there. Who doesn't talk to me anymore? It's Captain Cowboy. He's afraid of me. He's afraid of me. But Cowboy Jim just wants to be a jerk. All right, are you out there, nitwit?
What? He's not a jerk.
Who's
What are you
that?
talking about? Captain Cowboy?
Yeah. Hey, where
He's
is
the
he?
best. He's not trying to get away from you. I mean,
Okay. Well, how come he wasn't? Because the Cowboys stink. How come I haven't
I don't know.
heard from
Maybe
him?
he can't find your podcast or something like that. I'm trying to hunt
Is
him
he
down.
that stupid?
Oh, how's my hair? Is it all right? Or should I wear
I
a
don't.
hat today? Here, let me wear a hat today. Okay, I'll wear a hat. There we go. You see that? Okay.
No, I could care less about your hat.
Okay. I see you went to bed, what, at 6 o'clock last night? Or did you get your hair done? What'd you do? Which was it?
I didn't do
Oh,
either.
oh, okay. So you just threw some grease in that
Well,
hair right
hey,
now?
listen. Don't worry about how good I look compared to you. Uh,
How many? Let me guess.
somebody said Captain Cowboy sucking his thumb. I guess he is.
You probably had what, a dozen Mike Schmidt autographs in your baseballs in your attic. So you just brought out the dirtiest one. Here, take this one. I don't need this one. Probably.
So, are you demeaning the fact that a lot of people out there would like to have a Mike Schmidt autograph? Why
Well,
would you demean? Why would you demean Phillies
Philly
fans?
and Philly and Eagle fans, they're kind of weird. They'll
Well, yeah,
take
but I mean,
anything.
he's the best third baseman that
I
ever
know he
played the
is.
game.
I know
Okay.
he is, and I would like to have the baseball. So you can just send it to me.
Well,
So,
you still owe me $100.
well, we have a double or nothing bet for the Cowboys against the Eagles. Correct?
Yeah, Cowboys winning the division. Wasn't that the bet?
All right, they'll win the division. That we'll do that too. Listen,
Okay.
people are talking about the Eagles this week practicing with the Browns, and they're like, "Oh, the Browns look really good. The Eagles don't look so good." It's like, "Oh, well, the Browns had more time off than the Eagles. Give me a break." They're like, the Eagles are
What are you
just
talking about?
Jalen Hurts isn't looking good during the preseason.
Who
He's not.
cares about the joint practices? That clown that has wins and losses for joint practices is so ridiculous and so asinine that who cares? All they're trying to do is get their work in, and they recognize where they have to improve, and they recognize the areas in which they've done well.
Well, what are your thoughts on Landon Dickerson? Is he going to play? Because I'm hoping he doesn't. I'm
No, he's
hoping
not
he's
going to
out.
play. He's not going to play. Hey, here's another thing by the Eagles. I mean, just be honest. There's no you can't say anything until you get close. It's a meniscus. He's going to need If he was 180 to 200 pounds, it's different. He's 340 pounds. Do you want him playing on that knee? I would be absolutely shocked if he plays against the Dallas Cowboys. And that week to week nonsense that they rolled out there, he's not week to week. They know he's going to be out. He's going to be out for a little while. It's less than a month, the Cowboys game, from when he got hurt. There's no reason to play him in the Cowboys because the Cowboys suck.
Well, I'm just saying because they say like because Saquon Barkley gets a lot of yardage when he runs behind Landon Dickerson, so I want Landon to be out.
He runs behind Landon, and you still have two really, really good tackles at the left and the right tackle in Mailata and Lane Johnson.
So
And their offensive line and Cam Jurgens. I think Cam Jurgens is really, really a good center for the Eagles as well. What's going to hurt without Landon Dickerson is the tush push, because the quarterback usually will follow Landon Dickerson as he's being pushed by everybody else.
That's why I'm hoping that he doesn't play against.
Yeah, but it won't make any difference.
Sure,
it won't make any difference.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, and what are your thoughts on this? That the people say, well, if Jalen gets hurt and Tanner McKee comes in, he'll win just as many games as Jalen Hurts. So does that really put down Jalen Hurts that Tanner McKee can win just as many games?
Who's saying that?
Oh, do you not listen to sports radio?
Well, no, I don't. Actually, to answer your question, no, I don't, because it's what is said is asinine, stupid, and foolish from both sides. You have some callers that have some intelligence, but everybody's just kissing everybody's ass. And that's not the way it works. You got to be honest with people. Just be honest with people. Don't be a cheerleader. It's all about clicks on social media. It starts with Captain Clickbait. I mean, it's a joke. It's a complete joke. It's a joke.
And
everybody says, I like when you say everybody says. What does everybody say mean? Nothing. Not a damn bleeping thing.
All right, we'll just listen to you at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. We'll just listen to you.
I'm on Wednesday, and I have things to say after I have the guest on.
Right. Well, hey, is Bryce Harper more like a Micah Parsons, or is he more like a Bobby Abreu, where he just shows up at the end of the game and
he's better than both? He's better than both.
Micah
Parsons. I'll tell you what. I love what's going on. They're making Mike. He's going to play. If he doesn't play during the season, he's going to complain about injuries. He'll get fined at some point. He'll lose money, but now he's there, so he's not technically holding out. But it's not going to help him with his next contract.
Well, he has back issues. He's got all these issues.
He's got nothing. Well, then why would you sign him?
Exactly,
why would you sign him to a 4 or 5 year?
I'm okay with him going away. I'm fine with that as long as we can get somebody good for it. I want another Herschel Walker, part 2 trade. I want some good players coming.
Yeah, but you have idiots there now where Jimmy Johnson was there before, and
your buddy
Johnson was brilliant.
Your best friend Jimmy Johnson. When you were a Cowboy fan.
Well, I wasn't a fan. I was a Jimmy Johnson fan. I wasn't a Cowboy fan.
Hey, are you ever going to give away that Cowboy jersey or jacket you wore back then when that? You ever going to give that away? I'll take that.
I've already given it to Goodwill.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm out of here, loser. Okay. Goodbye, idiot, dope. See you later.
You are a complete moron. I'm glad you're out of here. You added nothing to the program today. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Added absolutely nothing. Somebody asked me about the Terry McLaurin situation in D.C. From the one he signed. Yeah, I don't really. Terry McLaurin's going to play for the Washington football team or whatever the hell they're called now. People. Hey, let's not worry about who's the best quarterback in Eagles history. Right now, Donovan is, but the reality is, if Jalen continues along this road, he will be. All right. I see Dale, and this is a topic I'm going to bring up with the Phillies. Dale from Reading, and I was going to bring it up, Dale. What the hell was Duran doing in that game last night with a 3-run lead? It wasn't a safe situation. It's just what was he doing in the game? I have no idea what he was doing in the game. No idea what he was doing in the game. It's just, are you that afraid of the rest of your bullpen that you had to bring Duran in with a situation that's not a safe situation? Do you, really? Really? It's just, I mean, it was a 4-run lead. It was a 4-run lead. Dale, you said it was a 3-run lead. It was a 4-run lead. It was 6-2, and he replaces Max Strom in the 9th inning, and then he gets hit in the ankle with a line drive. Now, you don't think that that's going to happen, but why did you have to bring Duran in? I'm not. I don't usually criticize. I don't usually criticize Rob Thompson that much. I think he's okay. Um, I think he's okay. I think he's above average. He does what the computer tells him to do, which is a lot of managers these days. It's just like, what was Duran doing in that game with a 4-run lead? He got hurt. He's lucky he didn't get hurt seriously. But the reality is, I'm telling you, it's one thing he throws hard, but there's going to be, I mean, he's a good closer, obviously. He's a good closer. But he seems like he gives up at least a hit every time he comes in. So people are going to be able to hit him. But I just I don't get what he was doing in the game. But again, I'm going to get back to the Harper situation. Do you really think he's a 3-hitter in the Phillies lineup? Do you really think the Phillies lineup is good enough to win a World Series? And forget about the National League. You already know that they're not the best in the National League. What about the American League? Lee Goldstein, Duran is not the best closer the Phillies have ever had, because Brad Lidge went a whole season without blowing a save. Brad Lidge was the best closer the Phillies had. You can't dispute, I think it was 48 or 49 saves without a blown saves. It's just, if he's in there to get work, let him work in the bullpen. Let him get up in the bullpen and throw to get work. He need to get work. He throws hard. He's got to have location, and he throws hard. By the way, I don't know if I've told people this nonsense with there's I think now I've seen at least 6 or 7 pitchers that on the radar gun it says they're throwing over 100 miles an hour. Did I mention before? First of all, Nolan Ryan always threw 100, although it wasn't clocked that way on the radar gun. Dwight Gooden in his first 4 years threw over 100. J.R. Richard, pitcher for Houston, threw over 100. There's a lot of pitchers, and I'm missing some people, I'm sure. The radar gun is recorded differently now than it used to be. The radar gun in previous years, when Nolan Ryan was pitching and those other guys were pitching, and I'm sure the Phillies had pitchers that threw over 100 by today's radar gun. The speed was clocked as the ball crossed the plate. Now the speed is clocked as the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. So when the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, that's when it clocked. Obviously, it's going to be 1 to 2 miles per hour faster. I think it's bogus. It's for the fans. It's all this nonsense. Oh, he threw 100 miles an hour. Oh, he got the 101. He got the 102. It's pitchers are going to throw harder. And then the radar guns are probably adjusted a little bit to get the fans all excited. The team knows what he's doing. I mean, if you saw, and there's probably a lot of people out there that didn't get to see Nolan Ryan pitch. Nolan Ryan was throwing over 100 by today's standards when he was over 40 years old. It's just Goose Gossage, Tony mentioned. I think Goose Gossage was probably another guy that threw. There's a lot of guys that threw over 100. Uh, 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 it's just Nolan Ryan was, and Dwight Gooden in his early years was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. It's just so this 100-mile-an-hour nonsense is just ridiculous. All right, so I don't think the Phillies are going to sign. I just think he's going to get too much money with the payroll they have. Think about this. There's another thing to figure into the equation, and I don't know how it's going to work out. There's probably going to be some form of a salary cap after the 26th season. There's got to be. There's got to be. And if you sign Schwarber, now it's going to be probably close to $40 million a year for at least 4 years. Then you have Trey Turner, who's got a $300 million contract. He's got 7 years left. Bryce Harper's got 6 years left. Zach Wheeler's making $40 million. There's going to be some other players you're going to have to sign a lot of money. And if you get rid of Castellanos, like big deal. So you get rid of $20 million. It's just the Phillies want both Harper and Schwarber to be back. But without Schwarber, think about where the Phillies would be. And he's really only a DH. So he doesn't play a position. He can play a position. That's right, Todd Labor. Or Chapman threw over 100 too. You're right. Chapman did. There's so many guys that threw over 100 back before they changed the speeds and the way they judged the pitching speeds. But nonetheless, I'm somewhat offended by I guess it was Kyle who said that I'm a Bryce Harper hater. I'm not a hater. I'm just a realist. Do I think, same Kyle, do I think that Thompson and Dombrowski will be gone if the Phillies lose the first round of the playoffs? I think Rob Thompson will be gone if they lose in the first round, but that's conjecture. I don't think they're going to lose in the first round. I do not think they're going to lose in the first round, but I do not think the Phillies are a World Series team. I'm telling you, it will be interesting to see what kind of contract Schwarber gets. DHs tend to not get market rates for position players. Well, he hits home runs. Billy Wagner. Billy Wagner in today's game was probably throwing over 100. Jimmy Page, Bryce Harper is overrated and past his prime. He may be overrated now. He wasn't when he was Bryce Harper. Is he past his prime? You got to think and you got to worry about that. You really do have to worry about that. They don't have the plate discipline to win the World Series. No, I don't think they do. All right. There's something. I want to deal with the Sixers. I don't want to deal with them, but they're out there. Does anybody give a rat's ass about the Sixers anymore? Do you care about the Sixers? Do you really, are they out of sight, out of mind? And it's just, they're stuck with Paul George. They're stuck with Joel Embiid, with both guys. Paul George probably won't play 50 games this year. I put an over under of 40 for Joel Embiid. I don't even think he's going to play close to 40 games. But here's a beautiful thing. And just to remind Nick Nurse, when you speak to a reporter, even though you're not in the country, it comes out. It's still published all over the place. That's what the internet is, and Nick. And I'm so tired of people not telling the fans the truth. I remember asking Nick Nurse the question, do you think it's fair to the fans to not give the real injury report on Joel Embiid? And I'm paraphrasing my question. And he paused. And interesting questions. Well, we do put it out before the game. Yeah, the day of the game and the day before. People buy tickets way ahead of time. They're still trying to sell season tickets, and they've lost a ton of season ticket holders. Like, why would you buy a season ticket to the Sixers? Really? But Nick Nurse's quote, and I'm going to read that in a second, but I see Chris wants to join the show. Are we good with Chris, Joe? Oh, okay. Chris, you got to, if there's an arrow through the microphone there, there's a little symbol. Click it so we at least get your mic. We got to be able to hear you. It's really not that hard. It's really not that. All right, let me read this quote by Nick Nurse. All the news is positive. I can't help but make comments about this, but I'll read the whole quote and then I'll comment about the quote later. All the news is positive. I know he's working very, very hard. That's two verys he throws in there. And I think things look good. Whether he's ready for training camp or not, I think there's maybe a lot more decisions than that to make before we get there. But our main thing is that he's healthy to play and play to his best capabilities because he's awesome. No doubt about that. That's Nick Nurse to a reporter in London. All right, let me leave that up there for a second, Joe. Let me just rip this comment apart. All the news is positive. Hey, Nick. It's bullshit. All right. How can it be positive when he had a procedure done on April, I think it was April 6th, and you still can't tell me whether he's going to be ready for camp, which he won't be ready for camp. You know it. I know it. The doctors know it. He's not going to be out there at the start of camp. Okay. So let's break that down. And then as I go on with the quote, I think he's working not one very, but two verys, very, very hard. And I think things look good. That's bullshit too. All right. How can they look good if you still can't tell the fans? Forget about me or the media. You still can't tell the fans whether he's going to be ready for camp. Whether he's ready for training camp or not, that's wonderful. I think there's maybe a lot more decisions than that to make before we get there. Well, then things can't be all positive. Main thing is to get him healthy to play to his best capabilities because he's awesome. No doubt about that. Well, let me just break this to you, Nick. Nick Nurse comment. He's not awesome anymore because he's always going to be hurt. He's never going to be the player that when he has no injuries that he was. He won an MVP and he shouldn't have won the MVP. That was Jokic. Sixers, Barry Rothman. Sixers, who I got rid of my 6 season tickets. Like you said, you never get the truth. You never get the truth with the Sixers. Here's how can Joel Embiid, first of all, he's a prima donna. He's a China doll. He's Humpty Dumpty. Because when he falls off the wall, you can't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. China doll, because he's always hurt. But I think I mentioned this before. I have been told, and I believe it's 100% accurate, that Joel Embiid has his own cook sent by the Sixers to come out to his house. Now, at the Sixers facility, if players want to come in, there's somebody there 24 hours if you want to eat anytime, 24 hours of the day. But he doesn't want to go to he wants to do everything because he's lazy, lazy. And that's the way he's always been. And I've been told that by multiple people. Uh, uh, Tony, that's not fair. JoJo's working hard to get his Happy Meals. That's not fair, Tony. Uh, although I don't think he's going to be in shape. But not just the chef, his physical therapist, which other players come into the facility over in Camden to get their therapy done. Oh, no, 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 no. Not Joel. Not Joel. Because Joel has to have the therapist come to his house. Why are you better than everybody else? Spelling day again. He will never, that's Never, play again. I think he will play. I think he will play again. But I do not think that he will play a lot of games. I just don't understand it. It's just, and how can people put up with this guy? And why does anybody buy a ticket to the Sixers? Now, you might buy it for the other team. When Golden State comes in, they come in once to see Steph Curry. I don't know that people pay for LeFraud James anymore. Like, who cares for the Lakers? The Lakers aren't the Lakers anymore. So why would you pay for LeFraud James? And there's a lot of times there's been times that the Lakers, the one time they come to Philadelphia, he doesn't play. So why would you buy tickets to the Lakers? Why would you buy tickets to any of their games? Brian's worried about my watch. Don't worry about the watch. There it is. Don't worry about the watch. But why would you buy a ticket to a Sixers game? Can somebody tell me that? The outlandish and outrageous prices of Sixers tickets. Hockey tickets are expensive and the Flyers tickets are expensive. However, they play hard. And there's guys on the Sixers that play hard, but not everybody plays hard. But they play hard. They're going in the right direction. I don't know how long it's going to take them, but they'll win a championship, and it's not anytime soon before the Sixers will win a championship. The Sixers are a complete and utter joke. It's just, and it's not just when you buy a ticket to the Sixers, it's not just the Sixers. Parking is parking, and you got to deal with that. The concession prices are up by Aramark, and they'll be up at the it's not called the Wells Fargo Center. It's Xfinity Live Center. I guess that's called Xfinity Live Center. It's Xfinity something center, but it's got a new name on it. So, but why would you buy a ticket when you know it's going to cost you? If you're bringing yourself and two kids, it's going to cost you, besides the tickets, at least $100 more. So I just, why would you buy a ticket? Just why would you buy a ticket? All right. The winner, let's get to the winner from last week. What is today? Saturday. On Wednesday night, I had a question from Brad Childress. We have a winner of the Chickies or the sunglasses, not the Chickies and Pete's. These were the Oakley sunglasses. Frank Ellison answered, one of many people that I'm sure answered the question correctly. The question that Brad Childress was, what will the Eagles need to do? What's the main thing they need to have happen to win another Super Bowl or get back to the Super Bowl? They have to stay healthy, and the quarterback has to stay healthy. That was a pretty easy question to answer. And Frank Ellison, congratulations. You have won the pair of Oakley sunglasses. Our question today, I'm not going to give it to you yet. You will win a Mike Schmidt autographed baseball. And you got to answer the question by midnight on Tuesday night. The Mike Schmidt autographed baseball is the prize today for the question, but I don't have the question yet. So, all right. Let me also tell you that it is important to note that our presenting sponsor is Stillwell Financial Advisors. You need to prepare for your future. In today's world and the way this country is right now, you need to prepare for your future. You need to do that at all times anyway. And Jeff Stillwell of Stillwell Financial Advisors can absolutely, positively, 100% help you. I've gotten a lot of good advice from Jeff. He's a good guy, regular guy, but he knows his stuff. Give him a call, 732-343-0813. All right. So, the over-under. I'm telling you, does anybody think Joel Embiid? I put an over-under, and I'll leave it at 40 games. I put an over-under of 40 games for Joel Embiid to play. Does anybody think he'll get the over of his 40 games? Does anybody think he'll get the over? The over-under is 40 games. Paul George. The over-under I put for Paul George is 50 games. Does anybody think that either one of them are going to get the over? All right. I see my clothier is on the line here. What's up? Why don't you tell me? That's Dan Maroney Custom Tailors, where I get. This is not a custom shirt. This is obviously a shirt that I got for free in a golf tournament that I played for Audi. But on Wednesdays and during the fall, I think I'll wear my suits and my custom suits and my custom shirts I'll wear during the show, all done by Maroney Custom Tailors. Dan, why don't you tell me what's up? What's up? How about, do you think Joel Embiid will play 40 games this year? Do you think Paul George will play 50 games? Do you like Bryce Harper hitting 3? Do you think the Phillies will sign Kyle Schwarber? All these things are on the table. Larry Mess, that's not fair. Over under is 3.5. For Joel Embiid or Paul George. Which one is it 3.5? Joel Embiid or Paul George? All right, let me tell you about the other wonderful people that are part of supporting this program, and that would be Audi Westchester. You can lease a new 2025 Audi. The electric cars, there's a sale on the electric cars. It's just, there's a sale. The Q6 e-tron, $499 a month, or an Audi Q4 e-tron for $399 a month. You'll need $5,295 down for the Q6 and $4,156 down for the Q4, plus taxes and registration fees. Stop by Audi Westchester for more details and see their all-new facility, 1421 Wilmington Pike. When you go to look for a new car, and I know I have fun when I walk in the show. Now at Audi Westchester, grab a coffee, and get something to drink, grab some snacks. You can do all those things. But you'll have fun looking at all the automobiles, not just the electric cars. And there's a tax credit on electric cars for a short time as well. This special offer won't last long. 2025 Audi Q6 e-tron, $499 a month, or an Audi Q4 e-tron for $399 a month. Check it all out, AudiWestchester.com. You want to take care of your property. You want to make it look nice. And who doesn't? Piazza Property Pros. to think about a business that has been around for 25 years and think about how good they are to be around for 25 years. And that's Piazza Property Pros. It'll be 26 years soon because, time goes on. But 25 years of experience. They don't subcontract. Whether you want a pool, an in-ground pool built, they can do that. And the pools, design it whatever way you want. They can take care of it. Your property, you can make it look nice, whether it's their craftsmanship, whether it's their work, with excavation, hardscaping, fencing, landscaping, pool maintenance. If you already have a pool, you can trust Piazza Property Pros. They will do you right. Give them a call. They'll work within your budget. 610-566-2608. Call them for a free consultation. That's 610-566-2608. Or check them out, piazzaoutdoor.com, so you can take care of that. It's just, boy, Jimmy's harsh. Jimmy Page is harsh. Bryce Harper will never hit 300 again. I agree with you. He will never hit 300 again. Eric Schulman is a bleep hole because I thought you retired 20 years ago. Well, if I retired, how am I here? And thanks for listening, Eric, you jackass. But that's all right. You don't know any better. So I don't hold it against you. Kyle Schwarber will sign with the Reds. You know what? I think he'll sign with the Reds too. And the reason I think he'll sign with the Reds, he's from that area. And the other thing that you got to understand, that's a small ballpark. He'll hit 50 home runs every year there. It's just, he'll hit 50 home runs in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's not that far away. The Reds are not that far away. Archie, using my winnings from Mark Lawrence's football season. By the way, I will be making picks this season, and I will be asking you to donate for my picks, not during the preseason. I'll put up the picks for the preseason. And again, the preseason, you go to howardeskin.com, but I'll put it out on my social media platforms that I'll put out my picks. And Joe, put it up. They can look at that fine page. Not the proceeds, the money. All the money goes to Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center. It says proceeds. Yeah, every penny goes to Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center. Go to howardeskin.com and you'll get my picks, and I will put up the picks for this weekend for the exhibition games, but you got to take it easy with the exhibition games. But anyway, I will be making picks during the season, and I want to do it for a good cause because Brandywine does a great job. Brandywine Valley SPCA, and so does Providence Animal Center, also do a great job. I will run this down again. The Eagles today for their preseason game. What am I looking for? For nobody to get hurt. That's what I'm looking for. I know that Tanner McKee is a good backup quarterback right now, and someday I think he's going to be a starter. What am I looking for? I think Ringo's got to start playing better in the secondary. He's not having he did not have a good game. He's not having a good camp, but I think at some point he'll be fine. I think the two corners, well, one of them was going to be Quinyon Mitchell. He's not going to play today. And Cooper DeJean, I think, will be the two corners. But Cooper, they're working Cooper in the slot and in the secondary. They might want to find another corner. But if the defensive line does what the expectations are, they'll be fine. Jordan Davis mentally is more prepared this season to be good. What's amazing about players. This is what's amazing about players. When there's a contract here, all of a sudden the bulb clicks. There goes the light bulb. The light bulb clicks. And the light bulb clicks because you're playing for millions of dollars. If he has a good year, he's going to sign a contract, which will probably average at least, I would say 12 million, probably 14 million a year, at least. So the light bulb's gone off. You're playing for a contract. It's his last year of his contract, and the Eagles have not signed him. All right, that's number one. So the defensive line will help the secondary for sure. I'm just looking for the secondary to play well. I mean, the offense, Dotson, we know, is going to be the third wide receiver. Well, probably the third wide receiver. The offensive line's not going to play, so you're looking for the backups to play well. But it's just the running back, Saquon Barkley's going to get the bulk of the carry. So I don't really care about the running backs. So what am I looking for? Just let the kids have a good time at the game today. And that's what it's all about. Before you go to Lincoln Financial Field for this game, you better stop, get your debit card, or if a bank's open, get a loan for the concessions. And I can tell you, this is not Chickies and Pete's fault that the crab fries are $25. It's not Pete's fault. The price is set by Airmark. That's who sets the price. What I would do, I don't know if they'll let you bring it in. See if they'll heat it up for you. Buy the crab fries at Chickies and Pete's on Packer Avenue. Get them for $9, and then walk them into the stadium. I don't know if you're allowed to bring the food in. That's not that's in an open container, and ask them to just heat it up for you. You'll save that's $16 on one order of crab fries. I know, it's just I wish I could do something about it, but I can't. All right, the question today to win the Mike Schmidt autograph baseball, the best third baseman to ever play the game. Here is the question. Give me, and you have to give me both. You have to give me both. The over-under I set on number of games played by Joel Embiid and Paul George. I want both of them. What number did I set for the over-under on games played for Joel Embiid and Paul George? That is your question to win the Mike Schmidt autographed baseball. I will post my picks, if they're not already posted, shortly for the preseason games. Don't worry about it. I mean, at the preseason, again, don't get carried away. The regular season, I'll have picks. And again, it's just I'm trying to support Brandywine Valley SPCA and Providence Animal Center and have you support them. So what do I look for the Eagles today? Nobody to get hurt. The Phillies, they had all of 6 hits on Friday night against Washington. Washington stinks. All of 6 hits. 4 runs were scored. 4 runs were scored off of home runs. And Rob Thompson made a huge mistake bringing Durant into the game with a 4-run lead. He got hurt. X-rays were negative. Probably going to miss a few games. So will he be ready? Who cares whether he's ready for this weekend? You shouldn't have to worry about him against Washington. But Seattle comes in next week. It just, and they're a good team. No. Jeremiah, I don't think Paul George is listed as out for the season because of his injury. But he's lazy too. He signed his contract. He's done. Who I think is going to be the other corner opposite Quinyon Mitchell? I would not be shocked if it's Cooper DeJean. I would not be shocked. By the way, it's the new arena is called. Somebody put it up here. Xfinity Mobile Center. That's what it's called. Xfinity Mobile Center. So that's the new name of the Wells Fargo Center, and we'll call it the Wells Fargo Center for a while. Xfinity Mobile Center. The company that owns the arena is paying the naming rights. And actually, I think the way they worked out the deal with the Sixers, they're going to share that. You know what's amazing? Think about this. And the arena in Philadelphia, for those people, we go way back. The arena that they proposed to have at 10th and Market Street in Philadelphia was never going to happen. But now with the problems with transportation, with SEPTA, with them cutting lines because they don't have enough money, can you imagine what a joke that's going to be? I don't know, because I think the routes are going to be cut for now that they're starting to cut the routes because they didn't get the funding from the state. They should be. Why is SEPTA more money than most places, most public transportation around the country? But what are Eagles fans going to do on September 4th for the Thursday night game? Something to think about. You should prepare now. Hey, Jason, just relax. I've seen no improvement whatsoever in the Flyers since Briere and Jones took over. They have gotten better. Are they good enough? No. Any chance the Flyers bring back Carter Hart? I hope not. He was found not guilty. You got to move on. You can't bring him back and have those issues, and you'll have a lot of backlash from people out there, whether he was guilty or not. Let me see if there's any more comments that I should mention. Prepaid crab. Come on, man. For the crab fries. Paul George, 45 games, Embiid 38. So you're taking the under in both. Have a good weekend. I will try to do so. Why not? Why don't you do over under on total games together for Embiid and Paul George? Now, it's easier to break up. I don't know that everybody can add. Have a great weekend. Yes. How bad is Duran's injury? The x-rays were negative, so he'll probably be out a couple of games. I guess the Eagles could force Aramark to lower the prices of concessions. Well, the Falcons concessions are fairly priced. Falcons, a hot dog's $2, soda's $2, and there's free fill-ups with the sodas in Atlanta. But the owner, I believe, owns the concessions. That's the difference. Thompson must go. Well, what he did last night by bringing in Duran was a mistake. Bring back the Spectrum. Ain't happening. We know that. Hey, Lee Goldstein, great to see nice growth on your subscribers on YouTube. I urge you to subscribe to YouTube. And the reason is you'll be notified as soon as I go live. SEPTA stinks. Well, I don't know that they stink. They obviously have not managed their money properly. The working class does need it. Sixers are really sad. Eagles win at Kansas City week 2. That's a question mark. I'm not so sure they win a Kansas City game week 2. I'm not so sure. And I don't know if Landon Dickerson will be back for game 2. But you can't just worry about one player. Hey, thanks. Evolution Philly Band. Thanks for another Saturday of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thanks to Joe Gangemi for helping produce this fine program. We'll be back on Wednesday night at 7:30 on Wednesday night. Everybody have a great weekend if you're watching this live. If you're not watching it live, just have a great day. Enjoy it. And thanks for joining the Howard Eskin Show.